it is, and y'all know who y'all looking at. Welcome to another episode of Club Pizzle. I am, of course, your host, Don P. Pizzle, Pod God, Uncle Don, G Dad, again, all that good stuff. I want to thank everybody for y'all's continued support of this platform. I want to thank y'all for y'all continued support of this podcast. Um, Without y'all, I wouldn't be here, or with or without y'all, I'd be here, honestly. But thank y'all. I appreciate it. While y'all in a supporting mood, if you will, make sure you guys like, make sure you guys comment, make sure you guys share the show. The more, the merrier. You know how that go. Um, how was everybody's week? I had a pretty festive and interesting week. Um, Saturday, me and the missus went to a wedding. Congratulations to Sean and Megan on their nuptials. I love weddings. I love going to weddings. I wish more of my friends or people that I know got married so I could go to weddings, honestly. It was a good time. It was outdoors and it was in Toledo, Ohio, and it was scorching hot out there. And I was out there in my dress clothes, and I was hot and I was sweating really, really bad. But it's all good. Like we had a great time. Um, Sunday I celebrated one of my grandson's birthday. Happy birthday, Hendrix. Bubba is what I call him. We were out at the beach, cooking out and celebrating and chilling. And Monday, a new addition to our family. Um, my daughter had her baby. Baby Amora was she came into the world a day early. She was supposed to get induced Tuesday. My daughter was supposed to get induced Tuesday, but Amora couldn't wait. So she got here Monday, 8 pounds, 3 ounces, big baby. She's doing well. My daughter is doing well. They are still in the hospital, and they should be home really, really soon. So yes, I am granddad again. Don't ask me how many I got, because honestly, I lost count. So yes, and yes, I am G Dad. I'm not granddad. I'm not Paw Paw. I'm not Pop Pop. I am G Dad. I am too young, and I look too young to be a Pop Pop or a Paw Paw. So G Dad is what all of my grandchildren call me. Um, and outside of it being an absolute heat wave in Cleveland this week, 90 degrees all freaking week long. Back at work at the job, it has been, whew, it's been hot, it's been hectic, but nonetheless, I got through the week. It's Thursday. Finally, I couldn't wait to get to Thursday, so I could come and sit down and talk to my people. Quick announcements. Battleground Performance League is back and better than ever. July the 19th, Chef Carolyn's Exotic Cuisines. Y'all know what time it is. B-Jax will be defending his title up against, we got 8 competitors coming through. So pull up, man. Exotic Cuisines, that's where we are for it. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to Meach. Shout out to B. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Verb. Shout out to Neff. Shout out to everybody that has something to do with Battleground. Shout out to everybody that supports the Battleground Performance League. And any artists out there, if y'all want to be a part of if y'all want to be a part of Battleground, let's go. Get there, holla at your boy, contact Meach the Shredder, and we'll make sure y'all get in that tournament. It's a cash prize. It's a championship belt you get to carry around for 2 months, and y'all get a little bit of bragging rights. Also, the Fall Through podcast will commence. Club Pizzle presents Fall Through. It is coming. I am now fielding guests for that. So rappers, actors, models, directors, content creators, singers, whatever you do, if it's in entertainment, entrepreneurs as well. Feel free, hit me up. My DM is open, my inbox is open. So get at your boy for that. And with that said, man, let's get to it. Y'all know my motto. We are here for a good time and not a long time. I try to give you all these things in 45 minutes or less. I do my absolute positive best in doing that. So we gonna get to it, man. The story of the week so far, or I'ma just get to it. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. 2024-25 NBA champions got the dub over the Indiana Pacers in game 7, and it looked a little bleak for them for a minute there. That first half, it was like Indiana's gonna win a championship, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. But they went on one of their patented OKC Thunder runs where they just obliterate you on offense and suffocate you on defense, and they came out with the win in game 7. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had another big game. Chet Holmgren on the defensive end had a good game. Jalen Williams had a big second half, and they got it done. Salute to the Indiana Pacers. They weren't supposed to be there, according to a lot of people. Them and their fan base were probably the only ones who believed that they could make the NBA Finals, let alone get to a game 7. And unfortunately, Tyrese Halliburton goes down, gets injured, and oh my God, I felt bad. And when he went down, and as soon as Mike Breen said Halliburton's still down, I said he popped his Achilles. And I felt bad, and I still feel bad because I think I sat right here last week and I said there's an outside chance that this could happen. And they rallied around him at least through the first half. And it was tough seeing him on the ground, slapping the floor and being upset. Like that was tough to see. But Indiana, they did. They rallied around him. They had a lead going into halftime, and then it disappeared. Oklahoma City, what a talented team, best team all year. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is probably one of the best single seasons in NBA history. Not the best, but one of the best. 68 wins. That's sixth most, tied for sixth most um in the regular season. 84 total wins, including the playoffs. That is more than the 2015-2016 Warriors, who didn't win a championship, and the 96 Bulls, the 72 win 96 Bulls, and also I think the 96-97 Bulls were right behind them. Those are the teams that are ahead of them. This team, the dominance this team showed all year. They won 54 total games by double digits. Their average margin of victory for the year was 12.9. Oh, their road to the NBA Finals, they beat who did they beat in the first round? They just obliterated them. Was it Golden State? No, it wasn't Golden State. It was crap. I forgot. Memphis blew Memphis out in the first round. Went 7 games with the Denver Nuggets in round two, and I believe that if whoever won that series was going to win the NBA championship, because I think if Denver would have got past OKC, they would have beat Minnesota, and they probably would have beat Indiana. And then they beat Minnesota in the conference finals and beat Indiana in 7. This team, man, is this the next dynasty? It's the question. Their average age, this is the youngest. It's the second youngest team in history to make the NBA Finals. 25.6 years old. The youngest team, I believe, that won the NBA championship was the Portland Trail Blazers back in the 70s. Whatever year was that, 76, 77. The Bill Walton led Portland Trail Blazers. Also Dr. Jack Ramsey was their coach. Rest in peace, Bill. Rest in peace, Dr. Jack. But this team has an opportunity, big opportunity, to not only win next year, but the year after that. Because the core of this team is locked in next year and the year after, until 26, 27. And then you have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 26 years old. Chet Holmgren is 23. Lou Dort is 26. Jalen Williams is 24. The other Jalen Williams is 22. Casey Wallace is 21. Aaron Wiggins is 26. Isaiah Joe is 25. They have a bunch of picks, not to mention the guys that they drafted last year and the guys that they're going to draft this year are young guys. They have 13 picks over the next 5 years. They made a pick last night. They made some picks last night. This could be the next dominant dynasty team. They have draft picks. If they want to go out and get Giannis, they could. If they wanted to go get KD, they had enough to go get him. If they want to get a Jonathan Kuminga or somebody else, if they wanted Cam Johnson from Brooklyn, they could go get him because they have enough young guys and a bunch of draft picks to go and get him. So this Oklahoma City Thunder team, man, I'm just going to say, look out for them. And as I'm watching, I'm not going to go too much on the coverage of the finals. It was what it was. I mean, Mike Breen is as great as he is. Like, he can make anybody around him great. I didn't hate Doris Burke and Richard Jefferson with him. It's just, if you can get someone better, if you can get somebody different. I know Jeff Van Gundy's not coming back. Mark Jackson's not coming back. Anybody else at ESPN currently that you would think would do a good job? I don't think Kendrick Perkins would want to do that. I think Chennai is a star, and I think eventually Chennai, once she's finally, I think she's finally done with the WNBA, or once she gets done completely playing ball, I think she can move into that slot. Is there anybody new out there? I'm okay with Richard Jefferson. I'm the only 3-man booth that I'm okay with, or that I was okay with, was Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson. Other than that, they need to go back to a two-man booth. If it was Mike Breen and Richard Jefferson, I think it would be okay. Doris is good, but not NBA Finals good. And I hate that I'm saying that, and I hate that I have to say that. I feel so bad because I love Doris Burke. Doris Burke has been good at her job for a long time. But when we're talking NBA Finals, it has to be great. But if she's going to be there, she's going to be there. And she's probably going to be there for the next few years. And she'll probably be better next year and maybe the year after that and the year after that. Same thing with Richard Jefferson. Richard Jefferson is my guy. Richard Jefferson is one of the smartest and one of the most entertaining guys. As far as the other presentation, the pregame, the halftime, and the postgame, I was not a fan of it. I mean, Malik Andrews is great. Shanae is great. Stephen A. Smith at times is great, but there are times where he's absolutely annoying, and it's like, all right, bro, you just doing this for the camera now. Same thing with Kendrick Perkins. My biggest issue with the coverage of the NBA Finals as far as pre, post, and half was the lack of them actually talking about the two teams in the finals. And the NBA needs to set Adam Silver. Look at me. Mr. Commissioner, love you, by the way. Doing a great job, by the way. There needs to be some type of parameter in place that keeps teams from announcing moves during the NBA Finals. It should be cut off. Do it on draft day. I mean, the draft happened 3 days after Game 7. I believe the NBA Finals should be reserved for the two teams currently playing. So no coaching moves, no potential trades or trades that you can acknowledge but aren't official until July 1. Because it takes away from the game. The Desmond Bain trade happened on a game night. Coincidentally, Kevin Durant gets traded to the Houston Rockets the same day as Game 7. It takes away from the teams playing. Now, I know that the big city snobs in the big market want to push everything towards the big market. Y'all wanted to put that on television. Y'all wanted to announce that. But I think that there should be something in place that keeps teams from doing that from the start of the NBA Finals until 3 days after. On draft night. Do it on draft night. The NBA Finals should be reserved for the two teams playing. Because, listen, this year's NBA Finals was absolutely the best NBA Finals since 2016. I mean, 2017 was what it was. Golden State dominated my Cavaliers. Kevin Durant was the difference. And then, it was a 4-1. And then it was a 4-0 sweep. 2019 Raptors versus Golden State was okay. Then we had the bubble finals, which was decent. Milwaukee versus Phoenix was a pretty good one. If there was any other finals, it would probably be that one that would be like, okay. 2022, Golden State over Boston, really, whatever. 23, the Nuggets over the Heat was kind of blah. 24 last year, Boston over, who did they beat last year? That's crazy. over Dallas was kind of blah. And this year's was it was great basketball being played by both teams. You had a couple of double digit blowout wins, but nonetheless the basketball was great. The pace of the game was great. I was happy with the pace of the game. These teams sharing the ball, whipping that ball around, getting the best shot possible. They were playing defense, but when you like good offense is gonna beat good defense every time, especially if you whipping that ball around. I did have a random thought because watching Mind the Game with LeBron and Steve Nash, and they were talking about would the triangle work today, which it probably would not. But if there was a coach that could modify it, it's a space and pace era. So, is there any way you could stretch the triangle? Anyway, it's I don't know. I would have to look into it. I would have to talk to some of my coach friends, some of my basketball people, and say, would it be possible? That's just something random I wanted to throw out there. That's for all of y'all who think that the '90s teams could play today, but that is neither here nor there. But this is the best finals, man. Again, thoughts and prayers go to Tyrese Halliburton. Speedy recovery for you. Yes, I'm was a little ticked. He beat my Cavaliers, but they got there. They went to 7 games. They showed up and they showed out. Andrew Nimbard, Aaron Neesmith, Ben Matherin, Miles Turner, T.J. McConnell. I have a newfound respect for him. Still don't like him, but I respect him. Take that. Is that what you will? Rick Carlisle, great job. Veteran coach, been there before. NBA champion as a player and as a coach, and is a great coach. And again, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they may or may not run it back. Now, Cleveland Cavaliers fans, let me talk to y'all for a second. Y'all are wondering, what should the Cavs do this offseason? Absolutely nothing. Don't do anything. Hey, run it back. Run it back. Only thing the Cleveland Cavaliers need to worry about is getting under that second apron, re-signing Ty Jerome and Sam Merrill. Now, it's not going to be a complete run back. No NBA team completely just runs it back with the exact same guys that they had from the year before. I do believe Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade are going to be moved, and that's to get under the second apron. That's why that's being done. That's why they're going to move those guys. But resign Ty Jerome, resign Sam Merrill. Would you bring in another big? Who that big is right now, I'm not sure. I'll know more. I've been looking. It looks a little nasty. Free agency is crusty this year. That's what I'm saying. The Cavs don't need to make a trade, like a big trade. Word is Phoenix did call the Cleveland Cavaliers about Darius Garland. And Kobe Altman said, give us Kevin Durant and some assets, which included the our own 2029 pick that they traded to the Utah Jazz. Phoenix decided to trade Kevin Durant to Houston. That's fine. So there is a market for Darius Garland. I don't think Kobe Altman wants to trade Darius Garland. I don't think Darius Garland wants to leave Cleveland. Would I trade Darius Garland? For the right deal, I sure would. I certainly would. It has to be worth my while. Trading Jalen Suggs for Darius Garland makes absolutely no sense unless you're cutting salary. Jalen Suggs is a walking emergency room patient. He's always injured. Y'all talk about Garland not being able to stay healthy. Darius Garland played 75 games last year. I don't think Jalen Suggs has played more than 65 in his career. Would he fit here? Maybe. Don't shoot the three ball that well. Oh, that's another thing about the game. But let me get through this. Oh, let me get here real quick with OKC. The way they play the game is going to it's a copycat league, so teams are going to copy this. How Golden State and the three-pointers and all of that is going to go to teams are going to be looking for depth, and they're going to be running 10. They're going to be running 10-man rotations. Get to the midi and get to the layup. Space and pace, spread the floor, and go to the hole. Except against San Antonio, because Wemby's going to be down there. But back to the Cavaliers. They don't need to do anything. Maybe Ben Simmons. You could get Ben Simmons for the cheap. And we're not looking for Ben to do a lot. He can lead the second unit with a Ty Jerome, drive to the hole, and be a playmaker. That's all we need from him, to be a playmaker, 3-and-D guy. Because look at the Cavs roster. You got Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen, DeAndre Hunter. Right? And I'm just as constructed. Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade. Again, Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro are probably going to be moved. I would expect for Jalen Tyson to get heavier minutes this year. I believe he played his way into that. That's a big body guy. He's 6'7", 6'8", 220, 230. Big body guy. So he can get down and dirty and get in there. Also, my other wild card in this whole situation is Imani Bates. Are they going to bring Imani Bates back? I believe they should, and I believe they should give Imani Bates minutes. And there's your replacements for Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro. Also, Luke Traverse and Naquan Tomlin are a part of the roster, and they're two-way guys, and we'll see what happens here soon. We'll know something soon. July 1st will be here, because June is out of here like it got somewhere to be. We at the 26th right now. July is here. So we'll know what happens with free agency. We'll see what the Cavaliers do. We'll see what moves the Cavaliers make. But run it back, because the Eastern Conference is wide open. Let me run it down to y'all. The Boston Celtics are cutting salary and getting rid of guys. They just traded Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah, they got Anthony Simons. And George Niang. And no Jason Tatum next year. Torn Achilles. Won't see him at all next year. So you're going to tell me that Derek White and Jalen Brown and Anthony Simons and Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford's going to be 72 next year. You're going to tell me that team is going to, Milwaukee, no Dame Lillard. And who knows what the hell that roster's going to look like next year. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not I'm scared of Giannis. That's the only thing I'm afraid of on the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis is the top 3 player in the league. Him, Shea, and Joker. Scary guys. I'm scared of Giannis. I'm not scared of Kyle Kuzma. I'm not scared of Kevin Porter Jr. I'm not scared of Brook Lopez, who's going to be a year older. I'm damn sure not scared of any Doc Rivers coach team. Absolutely not. Indiana might be better, but they don't have Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton is the glue. Tyrese Halliburton is the guy that puts it all together. Pascal Siakam is going to have an MVP. He has to have an MVP and beyond year for me to be afraid of the Indiana Pacers. The Orlando Magic still aren't ready. Pablo Banchero is going to be a year older and a year better coming off of an all-star year. You add Desmond Bane to that team, 1 3-point shooter. I'm not afraid of them. They still can't shoot. The Wagner brothers. Mo might not even be back in Orlando next year. The New York Knicks are beatable. I watched the Cavs sweep them last year. Beat the piss out of them every game. Not worried about the New York Knicks. The Miami Heat, nope. Chicago Bulls, nope. Don't even need to go any further. The Detroit Pistons are coming, pause, but they're not ready still. They're still young. Kate Cunningham's going to be a year better. They do get Jaden Ivey back this year. Jalen Durant, like they have a nice squad in Detroit, but no, not ready yet. Even with the moves the Atlanta Hawks made, they do have a nice top 6. But still, no, don't trust Quinn Snyder. A healthy Philadelphia 76ers could, but no. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Lipscomb just drafted last night. Jared McCain will be back. Paul George, Joel Embiid. Still, no. Raptors, Nets, Wizards, Hornets. Need I say more? Not afraid of any of them. Not afraid of none of that. Not worried about any of those teams. No chance in hell for those last 4 teams I named. And most of the ones that I named previous. The Eastern Conference in 2025-2026 is the Cleveland Cavaliers for the taking. And it won't surprise me if they win 64 more. If they run it back, minus Wade and Okoro, hopefully Imani's ready. Hopefully Jalen Tyson is working on his game. And you bring in a big, and I'm just throwing Ben Simmons' name out there. 6'10", can play all five positions, can be a playmaker. You're not going to be playing him heavy minutes. You're not going to be relying on Ben Simmons to play 40 minutes on this team. And you're going to be running 10 deep anyway. So these guys, Donovan Mitchell is going to come back with a vengeance next year. Evan Mobley is going to be a year older, probably 10 pounds heavier, and another year better, coming off of a defensive player of the year. And he eventually will end up a 25-10 guy. And I've said this for the last 3 years. Once Evan Mobley emerges, as the number 2 scorer behind Donovan Mitchell or passes him as the number 1 scorer or the number 1 option, look out NBA, look out Eastern Conference. The biggest threats to the Cleveland Cavaliers going into next year are the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder, a healthy Dallas Mavericks team with Kyrie Irving, a newly drafted Cooper Flag, and Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively, and that whole squad they got down there. Jason Kidd, who's a hell of a coach. That team was injured all of last year. It was a mass unit down there. They got to the point where they ran out of like time and games for their G League guys to play. That's how screwed up it was last year. And the Houston Rockets with Kevin Durant. Not worried about the Lakers, not worried about the Clippers, not worried about the Spurs yet. Even though I do like what the Spurs did last night, adding Dylan Harper to De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, Steph Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. They got a squad in San Antonio. I just don't think they're ready just yet. 2 years, 3 years down the line, that Spurs bandwagon is going to fill up. But Cleveland Cavaliers, run it back. No need to, you don't have to do anything. And I believe Kobe Altman knows this. Kobe Altman doesn't need for me to tell him this. Even though I can be like, hey, I can say it, but he probably look at me like, dog, I already know. Quick thing, as I stated, Kevin Durant is a Houston Rocket. Traded to Houston for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick, which ended up being Kamen Malulich from Duke, a big man, and like 5 second-round picks. Listen, y'all, everybody talk about the second-round picks. Nobody cares about second-round picks. They don't care about second-round picks in the NBA. That's why teams trade them so freely and they stockpile them so freely because they can use them as trade bait. That's all that is. Now, Jalen Green could still be rerouted somewhere else. Charlotte and Brooklyn are attractive landing spots for him. But it wouldn't surprise me if Pat Riley got in the mix and somehow got Jalen Green and somehow pulls Jonathan Kuminga in over there to go with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. And the Heat can make another run for the play-in. Who the hell knows? But as far as this KD trade, it's a good trade for them. I'm not upset. Everybody's like they got fleeced. No, they didn't get fleeced. Because you have a champion in Fred VanVleet there. You have you still have Reed Shepherd. You still have Cam Whitmore. Stephon Whitmore. Who the f is Stephon Whitmore? It's a football player, right? They still have Whitmore. You still got Jabari Smith Jr. And you still have Şengün. And you have Ime Udoka, who's one of the best coaches in the NBA. After Mark Daigneault. After Mike Malone's not in the league anymore. Taylor Jenkins is not in the league anymore. Ime Udoka is the top 5 coach in the NBA right now. Mark Daigneault, Rick Carlisle. I'll throw Kenny Atkinson in there. Eric Spoelstra and Steve Kerr, they're still who they are. Jason Kidd's in that conversation as well. I'm excited for free agency. Even though I don't think a lot's going to happen, there are going to be more trades than free agent signings. Shams already said this is going to be one of the craziest offseason or the craziest offseason. And I'm all for that, and I can agree with that. I can't wait. I'm glued. And then Summer League is going to start up. Me covering basketball and watching basketball 12 months a year, 365, like doing basketball 365 has been fun for me. This is my second year doing this. Like going wall-to-wall basketball. I need to get more back into college ball, which I probably will since I'm going to be turning a lot of my attention away from the G League. I'm splitting my G League time in half. And I'll do the other half of college. I'm going to watch more college next year, I promise. But let's see. Before I get out of here, special Pizzles picks here really quick. WWE Premium Live event, Night of Champions, takes place on Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It is at 1 p.m. on Peacock. Y'all know what it is. Just let me run through this card. I'm gonna make a couple of these picks, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all know how I do, man. 45 minutes or less. Starting Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. This is a match that's been building for quite a while. I'm gonna pick Karrion Kross to win this. And I think it's because he has to win this match. I'm going with Karrion. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. This one's been brewing for a while, and they have to do something to keep Raquel active while Liv Morgan is out with her injury. Even though I think they're going to partner her up with Roxanne, and somehow they're going to turn, like, Liv is going to go for a face turn. Liv and Dom might have a face turn here sometime soon. For all my WWE followers here. But I'm going to go with Rhea for the win. I mean, it's Rhea. I'm going to go with her. The United States Championship champion Jacob Fatu takes on cousin Solo Sikoa. This is Jacob Fatu's to win. I'm going with Jacob. Even though I feel like Solo could win with some funny business. He got JC with him. And this would be the perfect time to debut Hakaleo. It's the perfect time to do it. We already know he's doing dark matches. He's doing the main event. Right now, like, this will be the time to do it. And, like, it's a perfect storm where those guys, because Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa are both out with injury. Got JC. Like, this is a whole nother new bloodline that Solo has built here. And then you got Jimmy and Jay on the other side. Like, it's a whole little clash, more bloodline-ish going on. But I'm gonna go with Jacob, but I won't be surprised if it goes to Solo due to funny business in the debut of Hakaleo. Queen of the Ring final. Jade Cargill versus Asuka. Damn, Asuka just got back, and Jade is like the one. I want to go with Jade here because I believe you can make Asuka versus Io anyway. I'm going to pick Jade just because I feel like the path would be Jade winning, going to SummerSlam, going against Tiffany Stratton, possibly winning or getting close to winning, and Naomi cashing in, and Naomi walks out of SummerSlam as champion. That's how I see it. You can make Asuka versus Io Sky for SummerSlam anyway. King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. All signs are pointing towards Cody for him and Cena to run it back at SummerSlam. And finally, undisputed WWE Championship, John Cena versus CM Punk. I'm going with Cena to win. It's summer of Cena. Everything he's doing is like Summer of Punk that happened back in, 2012, 2011, 2010. This is what this is all looking like, and it all ended with I got Cena winning this and maybe losing at SummerSlam to Cody, and that could be Cody's turn. That can be the return of the final boss. All that crazy stuff can go on and happen there. So that's how I got that. And with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it, man. Make sure y'all tune in next week. NBA free agency will probably be up and running. Cleveland Browns training camp is coming up soon. The NFL Top 100 is coming and getting ready to get started and being released. Um, that's about it, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Always protect your peace, protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And creators be great. Stay positive. Because negative energy is trash. Until next week, y'all. Peace.